Penguin Random House Audio presents How Fascism Works, The Politics of Us and Them, by Jason Stanley. Read for you by Macleod Andrews. To Emile, Elaine, Kalev, Talia, and their generation. Introduction. Growing up with parents who'd fled Europe as refugees, I was raised with stories of the heroic nation that helped defeat Hitler's armies and usher in an unprecedented era of liberal democracy in the West. Near the end of his life, gravely ill with Parkinson's disease, my father insisted on visiting the beaches of Normandy. Leaning on the shoulder of his wife, my stepmother, he fulfilled a lifelong dream. Walking where so many brave American youth lost their lives in the battle against fascism. But even as my family celebrated and honored this American legacy, my parents also knew that American heroism and American ideas of freedom have never been just one thing. Before World War II, Charles Lindbergh typified American heroism with his daring flights, including the first solo transatlantic flight, and his celebration of new technology. He parlayed his fame and heroic stature into a leading role in the America First movement, which opposed America's entrance into the war against Nazi Germany. In 1939, in an essay entitled Aviation, Geography, and Race, published in that most American of journals, Reader's Digest, Lindbergh embraced something close to Nazism for America. It is time to turn from our quarrels and to build our white ramparts again. This alliance with foreign races means nothing but death to us. It is our turn to guard our heritage from Mongol and Persian and Moor before we become engulfed in a limitless foreign sea. The year 1939 was also when my father, Manfred, then 6 years old, escaped Nazi Germany, leaving Tempelhof Airport in Berlin in July with his mother, Ilse, after spending months in hiding. He arrived in New York City on August 3, 1939, his ship sailing past the Statue of Liberty on its way to dock. We have a family album from the 1920s and 30s. The last page has 6 different pictures of the Statue of Liberty gradually coming into view. The America First movement was the public face of pro-fascist sentiment in the United States at that time. In the 20s and 30s, many Americans shared Lindbergh's views against immigration, especially by non-Europeans. The Immigration Act of 1924 strictly limited immigration into the country, and it was specifically intended to restrict the immigration of both non-whites and Jews. In 1939, the United States allowed so few refugees through its borders that it is a miracle that my father happened to be among them. In 2016, Donald Trump revived America First as one of his slogans, and from his first week in office, his administration has ceaselessly pursued travel bans on immigration, including refugees, specifically singling out Arab countries. Trump also promised to deport the millions of non-white Central and South American undocumented workers in the United States and to end legislation protecting the children they brought with them from deportation. In September 2017, the Trump administration set a cap of 45,000 on the number of refugees that will be allowed into the United States in 2018, the lowest number since presidents began placing such limits. If Trump recalled Lindbergh specifically with America First, the rest of his campaign also longed for some vague point in history, to make America great again. But when exactly was America great in the eyes of the Trump campaign? During the 19th century, when the United States enslaved its black population? During Jim Crow, when black Americans in the South were
Sample complete. Ready to continue?